Well, good morning. I'm Jim from the swing here. Boy, yesterday I got all carried away, didn't I? Just going strong. Uh, and the whole 5 minutes got caught up in explanation here. But the thing is, you got to realize that when the favor, God gives wisdom. You know, Jacob, even though he wasn't really on fire and doing like he should, he still had some wisdom to see that he was running out of favor with Laban. So he left. He took his family and they got on their camels and they were heading 500 miles. We talked about what that would be like, and I cannot even imagine, because now he's got servants and men servants and lady servants, and he's got all the flocks to go with him and everything he had to go. He had to be a good organizer, and so he took off and he was gone before Laban realized he was gone. Now Laban, you can by that how can you be gone for 3 days in a family like that and not know something's missing? Well, it was because really he didn't care. He was out taking care of his sheep, and he came back in. They said, "Hey, Jacob's gone with your daughters and everybody," and they're gone. So man, it ticked him off. I'm telling you what, it really got him upset, because he said, "How in the world could he do that?" So he went for 7 days. He rode for 7 days as hard as he could. For some reason, it took him that long to find him. And he said on the 7th day of the journey, he met him at Gilead. And Gilead was about, it was a ways down the road. And Laban told on the 3rd day that Jacob had fled. And then it took a 7-day journey. But God came to Laban in a dream. And he said, "Be careful how you speak to Jacob. Don't go in there." He said, I'm telling you, don't mess with Jacob. Don't be hard on Jacob at all. So he found him. It says, so Laban came and found Jacob, and he said, "What have you done that you've stolen away unknown to me, and carried away my daughters like captives taken by the sword?" He was so upset. Have you ever just been around somebody that, boy, just got so upset at you, and man, their adrenaline was flowing, but you knew somehow, some way there was a restraint there. And then he told him that the restraint was, God said, and he told him, he said right there, he said, "I could hurt you. I could really hurt you bad, but God told me not to, so I'm not going to do that." And by the way, as God told me, he said, "And now you have surely gone because you greatly long for your father's house now. But I know you want to go there. You're homesick after 20 years. But why did you steal my gods?" Right there in verse 30 of chapter 31. He said, "Why did you steal my gods?" And Jacob answered and said to Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I said, perhaps you would take your daughters from me by force. But wherever you find the gods," he said, "do not let them live." So he said, if you find your gods around, whoever's got your gods, they're not going to live. We'll just take care of that right now. So I want you to know I didn't do that. Well, anyway, he didn't know Rachel had stolen the gods. And if he'd have known that, he'd have done some more tricking and deceiving. But anyway, he didn't even know that. So he went, and so he said, "Go into the tents and find out." And so Laban went in, all the tents, Leah's and all the kids, everybody, and couldn't find the gods until he went into Rachel's. And he went into Rachel's, and he said, now Rachel had taken the household idols, put them in the camel's saddle, and then sat on it. Well, look, you say, well, why in the world would she want the idols? Oh, I thought this was a godly story. I thought this was look, just because they're part of the family, and just because he said, go back to my family, doesn't mean they're godly. They may be relational, and you may have ties with them because of blood, but that doesn't mean that and this is a kind of a sad story to Jacob, because all the time they haven't, he hadn't talked about his God that much. And because of that, they had stayed with their tradition of believing in these idols. And she wanted to take them home. She wanted that idol to be with her, because she was kind of scared. I'm sure that she wanted something that she could look back to. And then so finally, Laban came into her and said, I want to search the tent. And then she said, well, excuse me, I can't get up right now. I'm in the way of a woman. There's no way I can get up right now. And she tricked her dad, and she kept the idols. Wow. He went away, and he said he couldn't find the idol, so she didn't have to lose her life, that's for sure. Then for 20 years he told her, he said, Laban said, Jacob, why is this trespass? Why are you going away? He said, well, for 20 years I served you, and I did everything for you, but now it's time for me to go home. It's time for me to take these things and go home. And then he said these words. And I'm going to tell you tomorrow exactly how he began to change his direction and his attitude toward God. We'll check that out tomorrow, okay? See ya.